Salutations, industrialists. I'm Mark, a producer at Aquila Interactive working on Gilded Destiny. Before diving into today's dev diary, I want to express our gratitude for the extremely positive reception we received on our Kickstarter announcement. If you haven't yet followed our page on Kickstarter, head over there now to make sure you are notified when the campaign goes live. Just click the link in the description below. And welcome to the many new industrialists who have joined our community. If there's anything you want to ask us, please feel free to join our Discord. It's always a pleasure to read your comments and respond to your questions. Today's dev diary will focus on culture and religion and how they are represented in Gilded Destiny. As we mentioned back in our population dev diary, check out the description for the link. Each population group in our game has specific qualities which reflect the specific beliefs, habits, conditions, and so on that apply to that group. In terms of game mechanics, these often manifest as specific buffs and debuffs, and can affect everything from the population's consumption of goods, to migration patterns, to a predisposition for certain professions. The quality system is designed to be incredibly flexible, and culture and religion are just two examples of the kinds of things that qualities can reflect. Check out our dev diary on colonization for another example. However, culture and religion deserve special attention because of the way certain countries will be able to directly influence the qualities that relate to them. First off, each culture in the game will have a cultural heritage, a set of qualities that relates to that particular culture. For example, during this period, the Qing Empire was incredibly resistant to the adoption of Western technologies, and therefore, the populations that are part of this culture will have a quality as part of their cultural heritage that negatively impacts their potential research output. However, the cultural heritage isn't necessarily fixed and can change depending on the choices the player makes. For instance, when they are faced with certain historical event chains or decide to achieve certain goals. Because of the way populations can migrate in Gilded Destiny, and because of the historical realities of the 19th century, cultures permeate across borders, and diasporas can exist in multiple countries. In the Politics panel, the Cultures tab displays information about the various cultures present within your country, including the relative proportions of those cultures and specifics on the cultural heritages of each individual culture. In addition, it displays an important feature of each culture that we haven't discussed yet: the cultural hegemon. The cultural hegemon for any given culture is the country which possesses the largest population for that culture, and which recognizes that culture as one of its primary cultures. Only the cultural hegemon will be in a position to make choices that affect the cultural heritage for that culture, but those choices will affect all populations adhering to the culture, regardless of which country they reside in. For instance, at the start of the game, France is the cultural hegemon for the French culture, and is therefore the only country in a position to change the French cultural heritage. In doing so, it will change the cultural heritage, so the qualities, of all populations who are of the French culture, regardless of whether they are living within France itself. Of course, over time, diasporas may begin to assimilate and adopt one of the primary cultures of the country they reside in, and the rate at which this takes place will be affected by things like policies and education. Moving on from the overview to the rights tab, you're presented with the choices you can make relating to each culture within your country. You can decide whether that culture is to be primary, tolerated, or even persecuted within your country. You can also determine more specific rights relating to each culture, such as whether its adherents are able to take part in certain professions, or whether they can be enslaved. It's worth pointing out that in keeping with the historical trends of the 19th century, countries can only abolish slavery and cannot enslave new cultures. Also bear in mind that the availability of some of these options will depend on which policies you currently have enacted. Now that we've gone over culture, let's take a look at religion, also located in the Politics tab. In many respects, religion works in a similar way to culture. Each religion has a religious authority, which is the country that can add or remove religious convictions. As before with cultural heritages and culture, religious convictions are the qualities that affect the pops who follow that religion. The religious authority for a religion is the country that has the largest number of intellectuals following that religion. However, certain religions can also have a religious center, the possession of which gives a significant bonus to the calculation to determine the religious authority. As with the cultural hegemon, the religious authority is in a position to affect the religious convictions of all populations who adhere to that religion, regardless of where they are located. Alright, industrialists, that concludes today's Dev Diary. Thank you for watching. We'd love to hear your thoughts on our culture and religion system. As with all of our systems, it's designed to be easily moddable, and we can't wait to hear how people will use it. Share your comments below or join our Discord to join the discussion. Lastly, remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and if you have not done so already, add Gilded Destiny to thy Steam wishlist. Until our paths converge once more, we bid thee farewell. May your destiny be a gilded one.